Today, I'll be showing everyone a method that is so powerful that even the Warframe devs have admitted that it has become problematic and disruptive to the new player experience of Warframe. What's this method, you might be wondering? It's actually really simple. The meta the devs plan on nerfing in the near future is AoE plus Wukong. But why, you might ask? It's because Wukong is invincible and overwhelmingly fast compared to other Warframes, and when you combine that with an explosive weapon like the Kuvazar or Kuvabrahma, you can speed through missions with little to no effort. There's also some secrets that not everyone knows about that I'll be sharing with you now. Don't keep it secret and use it while you can. Enjoy. You might be wondering what's actually required for this setup. First is the Warframe, Wukong Prime or Wukong. Wukong Prime's not needed for this, but we will be using him because that's what I have. In reality, the base stats of Primes are nearly the same, and all that matters is the Warframe's abilities. Don't feel bad if you have to use regular Wukong. You can pick up his blueprints in your clan's dojo by fast traveling to the Tenno lab. You can also use the budget build until you get the Prime. Next, you need to equip your Wukong with strength mods because they affect his second ability. The more strength, the faster you go. Also, we want duration mods to extend the time that it'll last for. Please keep in mind this build is not necessary for this method, and you can still do it with less strength and less duration. If you don't have Energize, that's also not an issue. Two arcane options that are also amazing are Arcane Phantasm and Arcane Agility. Phantasm gives 60% bonus speed for 18 seconds after you block with a 45% chance of activating when you block. And Agility also gives 60% parkour velocity for 18 seconds on damage with a 60% chance of activating. If you don't have Umbral Intensify, Normal Intensify will work. If you don't have Energy Conversion, you can use anything else that might interest you. Also, the Aura mod Growing Pattern might be an option if you want more strength, but I'm currently using Sprint Boost to boost my teammates' sprint speed in public games. If you do public games a lot, then Sprint Boost might be better than Growing Power, but you can try it out and see what you think is best. The final thing worth mentioning is that I have Saren's Molt subsumed to my 4th ability. Other good options are Empower and Nej's Firewalker, both of which can make you faster. Now here's where things get interesting, the weapon choices. You could definitely go with any AoE weapon, aka any weapon that explodes in a large radius or kills crowds quickly. However, there are a few weapons that will give you an edge over any other weapons. The Kuvazar and Kuvabrahma are the first that come to mind, but what if I told you there's something else you're missing? The melee weapon you choose can actually affect your efficiency. If you've seen my last video, you might remember that Amalgam Theoric's body count actually improves the blast radius of the Tsar. Although this is good, it's actually not the secret weapon I'm talking about. You see, this secret weapon isn't really secret at all, but new players don't have access to it because it's locked behind hundreds of hours of content. This weapon, ladies and gentlemen, is the Kratos. You can get this weapon from the Zarmon ship area by ranking up and trading standing for the blueprint. The build I have isn't very important, however, Amalgam Organ Shatter will give you 60% faster heavy attack windup speed. Also, Killing Blow gives another 60%. And Dispatch Overdrive gives 60% bonus movement speed for 15 seconds on heavy attack hit. Pairing this with the evolution perks will make you even faster. Let's take a look. For your second evolution, choose Drifting for 20% more sprint speed and 20% more slide. For the 4th evolution, choose Evolved Ascension. It gives 30% more parkour velocity. Highly underrated perks if you don't plan on using your melee for kills, except that's not even true, since the 3rd evolution, Reaching Lunge, gives you 1.5 meters of slide attack range, and with even a basic build you can kill all the enemies that you'll be facing when farming prime parts. But if you have this weapon, you shouldn't be far off from getting a Kuvazar, Kuvabrahma, Kuva Ogress, or any other AoE weapon of your liking, and I'd recommend using AoE when doing this. The best Kuvazar build for this setup is actually a bit different than yesterday's build, because the focus was Steel Path enemies mostly. Since we don't currently have Steel Path Void Fishes, we don't actually need an Arcane for damage or faction damage. Instead, you want Amalgam Serration for the 25% bonus sprint speed and Fractalized Reset for the 240% reload speed that you get whenever you cast an ability. Since the duration is 5 seconds and your second ability is slightly above 5 seconds, you want to shoot enemies instead of letting the full duration of your second ability finish. By doing this, you will still have the increased reload speed from when you use your second ability, allowing allowing you to reload almost instantly with Prime Fast Hands aiding you even further. The other obvious change is Prime Firestorm. Instead of bladed rounds, because the enemies you will be going against will be dying so quickly that the only thing that matters is increasing the range of the explosion and speed of the explosions to speed up the killing further. You still want crit chance and crit damage, but hunter munitions is not needed, and it might be worth swapping it for heavy caliber for the decreased accuracy. Keep in mind that the Kuvazar has 100% accuracy base, so even heavy caliber won't make a massive impact on explosion radius. Still worth mentioning though, ignore my ribbon and make sure you have toxic as your element on your Zar, so that a single cold mod gives you the viral damage. As you can see here, you do not need a ribbon, but this is my ribbon, so. Now, onto companions. The only choice here is very obvious to people like me, but if you're new to the game, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, and this is very important. I oftentimes see Titanias in relic fissure missions farming prime parts while in their 4th ability, which means that they are tiny and in an argument. The thing that most of the people don't know is that Titania is unable to benefit from the buff that the Smita give, which double the amount of void traces you get. Charm won't always proc, but when it does, it's really nice. If you have 4 Smita in your squad, it'll increase your chance of getting the buff, or maybe even getting 2 of them stacked on top of each other. With a resource booster, you can get 4x or even 8x void traces than the average person would. Another thing that most people don't understand about companions is that the order in which you place the mods determines which ability gets priority over the other. Make sure that you have charm before other mods that give abilities to your Kavar. The order is left to right top row, then the same thing bottom row. As you can see, I have charm before the ability mods. Make sure to do this. Huge last mod worth noting here is Primed Animal Instinct, which gives 33 meters of enemy radar so that you can use your radar to kill enemies through walls without even seeing them in game. Last but not least is focus. You want to use Madurai for Sling Strength. It gives you 40% extra ability strength for 20 seconds after you use Operator and Void Sling twice. Takes a few seconds, but since you're moving forward when you do it, it makes your second ability faster, and it can be very useful to do at least once at the start of the mission. Paired with Mega's Cadence, you will also be receiving 90% more sprint speed for 12 seconds after any Void Sling. If you made it this far and learned something new, I have one more thing for you, and I want to hear you guys in the comments tell me if any of these things were new for you, and if so, which ones. Final tip of the video is mission types. For farming prime parts, you need to get relics and bring them to void fissure missions. Nearly everyone knows this, but if you're newer, you might not. The fastest way to get Lith, Meso, and Neo relics are the capture missions in the Void. The lower level capture gives Lith, while the other capture gives both Meso and Neo. For Axie relics, you want to go to the Disruption mission on Lua called Apollo. Going with the squad will speed up the Axie relic farm, however the capture missions, I recommend setting your game to solo for faster runs. When doing the fissure missions to crack the relics, you want to either run with the squad or leave the squad as soon as each mission ends so that you can have faster loading times and more RNG when it comes to what you might get. Final tip for void fissures is do only exterminations, captures, rescues, sabotage, and spies. Spies can sometimes be faster than captures, so give it a try. These are the fastest ones. Hope this information was useful, and if you did learn something new, go ahead and hit that like button for me and subscribe for more videos like this. Click here for my best Kuvazar Steel Path build that I uploaded yesterday.